Ganesh, can you record also here? Is it required? Okay. Asif, we are good to go.
Yeah. So, good evening, everyone. This is Asif, and I'll be moderating this session today. So, first of all, on behalf of Praja Foundation, I would like to welcome all of you to Prajatantra National Youth Festival 2026. And this is our first knowledge session. And this is our first knowledge session. Uh, Prajatantra 2026, which is co-organized by National Institute of Urban Affairs, UN Habitat, and Prajatantra Foundation. So for this year, we have the theme of housing the future, building cities for all. And at the outset, I would like to thank all our funders, especially Rohini, Nelkali Philanthropies, and Madhu Mehta Foundation for their support. Now, what are these knowledge sessions? So basically, these knowledge sessions are capacity building sessions where participants' understanding about the particular theme is enhanced. They provide actually foundational understanding for policies, which will help you all to prepare better for the competitions. And this will equip you to effectively participate in all the events. And eventually, it contributes to our having a meaningful urban governance discussion. Today's knowledge session topic is legislative structure of city governments and municipal finance. Now, I would like to introduce speaker for this particular knowledge session. So we have Meghna Indurkar with us. She's from the leadership team of Praja Foundation, and she has been with Praja Foundation for a very long time. And she has a background in architecture and urban planning. And she currently heads the strategic communication vertical of Praja. So the sequence will be she will be making a presentation. You all are expected to carefully listen the presentation and simultaneously whatever doubts, questions you have, you can post it in the chat box. And at the end of the presentation, I will take those questions. And later on, you are also required to fill the feedback form, which will be shared at the end itself. So now I would like to hand over to Praja Indurkar.
Thank you so much, Asif, for the introduction and setting the background. Hello everyone, आप सब कैसे हैं? How are you all doing? And congratulations and thank you for registering for Prajatantra 2026. Prajatantra has been a really exciting experience and journey for me also personally, but also for each individual student or as a citizen whoever has logged on to Prajatantra. It is really an exciting learning experience for everyone. So Prajatantra is basically like you all get to form your own government, your own city government. One becomes a mayor. There are different competitions, and you're competing across best minds across the country, right? तो इस सब में we wanted to ensure कि आपको knowledge भी हम दे पाए. We are able to give you a lot of knowledge जिससे आपको competitions में help होगा and it will give you a lot more edge over everyone else. Um, so today we are going to talk about urban governance and municipal finance, right? क्योंकि urban governance or finance तो it is like that structure, it is like that foundation for any city to be able to
The
deliver
bad future
better.
साठी पाहिजे का
Um, it is like that foundation to be for cities to be able to deliver better services, and we all should have a better quality of life in cities, right? So we're going to talk all about it, and I'm going to share a presentation of it. I'm also going to ask a lot of your interaction in chat. Happy to have any questions. If you have, you can post it on the chat and we can take it up towards the end of it. So, let me just share my screen. Is my screen visible? If you can just type it on chat if it is visible. Yes. Okay, great. I know you guys are listening. Great. So yeah, we're going to talk about urban governance and municipal finance. Um, so let's understand the entire governance structure of India. India के governance structure में there are three tiers. Okay, at the top is the union government. Okay, the next level is the state government, and the third is local self-government, which includes urban या city government and rural government. Okay. Now, usually there are different terms जो use होते हैं city governments के लिए, but city government ये term प्रजा specifically use करता है because we want to make sure that the corporation or every city has a government and not just a body or just an authority. It is a government at the third level also. So in three tiers में responsibilities are divided at different level. Now how are these responsibilities divided? जो यूनियन गवर्नमेंट है that is responsible for administration and governance of the whole country. Okay, and we elect our MPs to be a part of the union government. Then there's state government. Union government, of course, for entire country, there is one unit government that is formed. When it comes to state government, each state has its own state government. Okay, and we elect MLAs to represent us in the state government, and they are responsible for the administration and governance of the state. Okay, now third level पे local government है. Okay, local government भी दो types के हैं. One is the Panchayati Raj institutions, which are the rural local governments, and the second are municipalities or city governments, which are urban local governments. Okay, उसमें भी then it is disintegrated because India is vast. It has so many parameters that we need to take into account while looking at governance and making any policy. So rural areas are again divided into three. One is the Zilla Panchayat, so that is one district level unit for governance. Then there is Panchayat Samiti, which is at the block level. And then there is Gram Panchayat, which is the lowest level for rural governance. Now, when it comes to municipalities, which is urban, वहाँ पे there are three different types. One is Nagar Panchayat, the second is municipal council, and third is municipal corporation. In Prajatantra, we are going to focus on these units only, which is municipalities, they are city governments. And I'm sure you all belong from cities that fall in one of these categories. अभी कैसे पता चलेगा कि which category does your city fall in or what does your city attribute to? So let's understand कि urban actually होता क्या है in India. Before going to that, so the three tiers of governments in central government and state government, both we have legislative and executive wing. Okay, so the legislative wing has president, Rajya Sabha, and Lok Sabha. In the executive wing, we have the president, prime minister, and council of ministers. Similarly, in the state government भी legislative wing होता है जिसमें विधान परिषद, विधान सभा होता है, और एग्जीक्यूटिव में गवर्नर, चीफ मिनिस्टर या काउंसिल ऑफ मिनिस्टर्स होते हैं. Okay, so that is how the central and state government governs. Now, long time back, there wasn't any city government, yeah, third tier of governance really. But in 1992, it changed. और तब क्या हुआ कि so our constitution has 7th schedule, okay, which outlines कि हर एक government क्या काम करेगा. So the union list has some 100 functions for the union government to do, like defense, foreign affairs, citizenship, export import, census, etc. Then there is a state list which has policing, agriculture, industry, state level taxes. And there was one concurrent list which had functions which both state and the union had control over, like criminal law or education, entertainment, things like that. But city government के function का list था ही नहीं. तो then how do we decide कि city government क्या करेगा? And that's when local government was part of the state list. तो हर एक state का government decides how the local governments will get constituted, what will be the powers of the local governments in that state. Okay, now let's understand कि urban क्या होता है. Okay, in India, the definition of urban is that there are different types of urban. One is statutory towns. So all places that have a municipality or corporation or a cantonment board or a notified town area committee, as per the act, they are called statutory towns and they constitute urban. देन होता है सेंसस टाउन्स, जो ये फॉलोइंग क्राइटेरिया मीट करता है वो सेंसस टाउन करके डिक्लेयर होता है, एंड देन दैट इज आल्सो इंक्लूडेड इन अर्बन, व्हिच मींस अ मिनिमम पॉपुलेशन ऑफ 5,000, at least 75% of male working population is engaged in non-agricultural activity, and there is a population density of 400 persons per square kilometer. Okay, now this definition of census town is quite it's been quite a time that it has not been revised, but that is what we currently follow for understanding कि urban legally and as per acts क्या constitute होता है. Okay. Now there are different classifications of urban. Let's say, for example, small town में दो classification है. So population range from 5,000 to 20,000. नगर पंचायत 20 to 50, either a नगर पंचायत or a municipal council. अभी इनमें से क्या ये state government decide करेगा. And as per 2011 census, we have 7,467 of small towns. Then there are medium towns, large city, which is municipal corporation, then metropolitan city and metropolis. Okay. Now, the first of the many homeworks in a way that I'm going to tell you to do is कि you figure out कि आपका city का classification क्या है. Figure out आपके city का population क्या है. Okay, based on that, figure out कि आपके city government का constitutional status क्या है. What is the recognition that your city government has? Is it a nagar panchayat? It is a council, corporation hai. So figure that out for whichever city you are from, and of course, as a team, you are going to represent one city in the in the Prajatantra, right? तो उस city का ये क्या status है is what all of you should definitely document and keep with you. Now, 74th Constitution Amendment is like the basis of everything. That is when the 74th Constitution Amendment and 73rd Constitution Amendment was for the rural areas, which is the Panchayati Raj system. So that added certain articles 243 O and 11th schedule. So rural areas ke liye there were some functions that were described in 11th schedule. And 74th Constitution Amendment introduced articles 243P to 243ZG, and there are 18 functions given suggested to be given to the city governments. Okay, now next thing I'm going to tell you is definitely find out and read 74th Constitution Amendment क्या है, उसमें क्या provisions है, क्या पावर्स देने को बोले गए हैं कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में, बिकॉज दिस इज अ पार्ट ऑफ आवर कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन नाउ. वी आर गोइंग टू सी अ शॉर्ट वीडियो. मे बी आई विल हैव टू स्टॉप एंड शेयर अगेन with the sound. Okay. Hope you all can hear the sound. So just let me know if you're not able to hear it.
Ma'am, we can't see the video.
Yeah, just a second.
The 74th Constitutional Amendment.
Can you hear and see?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, perfect.
Yes,
Let's
ma'am.
see what the video has to share.
Act. India has 3 tiers of governance: union, state, and local. This structure brings decision making closer to citizens and makes governments more responsive to everyday needs. This idea of decentralized power has a long history. From ancient systems in the Indus Valley civilization through regional kingdoms to formal administrative models under the colonial rule. After independence, India's leaders envisioned a robust democracy strengthened by the empowered grassroots governance. The Constitution of India acknowledged local governments, panchayats, and municipalities and placed them under the state list in the 7th schedule. This meant that the state governments had primary control over them, while local governments still functioned with limited power. They lacked autonomy, reliable financial resources, and regular elections, leaving them dependent on the state governments. After efforts of multiple stakeholders and recommendations from various committees, change finally came in 1992, when the 73rd and the 74th constitutional amendments gave legal and constitutional status to local governments. Let us learn more about the 74th Constitutional Amendment Act. The 74th Constitutional Amendment Act was passed in 1992 and came into force on June 1, 1993. This landmark reform granted city governments constitutional status for the first time. It added Articles 243p to 243zg and the 12th Schedule to the Constitution. The amendment required states to establish 3 types of city governments: Nagar Panchayats for areas transitioning from rural to urban, municipal councils for smaller towns, and municipal corporations for larger cities. It added provisions as follows: mandatory municipal elections every 5 years, strengthening democratic accountability at the city level. Introduced state finance commissions and district planning committees to support finances and planning. Mandated wards committees in larger cities to bring citizens closer to decision making. Added the 12th schedule with a list of 18 functions such as water supply, waste management, urban planning, slum improvement, transport, and others that should be performed by city governments. However, these powers do not transfer automatically. States must actively devolve funds, functions, and functionaries to the city governments for effective administration. Since under the 7th schedule of the Constitution, local government is a state subject, state governments are responsible for implementing these reforms and enabling better governance of cities. At the heart of these reforms lies the principle of subsidiarity. This principle suggests that decisions should be taken as close to people as possible. So local governments should handle local problems and service delivery. Higher level of government should have a subsidiary function and step in only when something cannot be managed locally. As India continues to urbanize, the role of cities will only grow. Strong and empowered city governments are essential to making urban life more livable. The 74th Constitutional Amendment provides a guiding framework to move India's cities in that direction.
All right, so hope this gives you a better understanding कि 74th Constitution Amendment क्या था, उसने क्या provisions लाए. So basically पहले तो हर एक स्टेट को एक अपना एक्ट बनाना था. जैसे अगर मैं तमिलनाडु जाऊँ तो तमिलनाडु म्युनिसिपल कॉर्पोरेशन एक्ट, गुजरात म्युनिसिपल कॉर्पोरेशन एक्ट, महाराष्ट्र म्युनिसिपल कॉर्पोरेशन एक्ट, नागालैंड म्युनिसिपल कॉर्पोरेशन एक्ट. सो हर एक स्टेट का अपना अपना कॉर्पोरेशन एक्ट है. उसमें सब डिटेल आउट किया है कि कॉर्पोरेशन क्या काम करेगा, व्हाट ऑल विल बी द पावर्स, व्हाट विल बी द स्ट्रक्चर, एवरीथिंग. देन द 74th अमेंडमेंट सेड कि रेगुलर इलेक्शंस होने चाहिए. जब भी टर्म खत्म होता है कॉर्पोरेशन का, इमीडिएटली द इलेक्शन शुड हैपन एंड एवरी एक्ट हैज दैट प्रोविजन इन इट. The second was that formation of state finance commissions. So state finance commission बनना चाहिए which recommends कि कितना finances should go to the city governments. Okay. The third was wards committee. So एक थोड़ा decentralized और करने के लिए wards committee का provision था in 74th Constitution Amendment. And then the last thing was 18 functions, which is the 12th schedule. Okay. Now 18 functions. These are the 18 functions that a corporation should be or a city government should be doing and delivering these services to the citizens. Now, my next thing that I'll recommend all of you to do is कि आप मैप कीजिए कि हर एक इन 18 फंक्शन में से कौन सा एजेंसी और डिपार्टमेंट आपको ये डिलीवरी देता है. लेट्स से वाटर सप्लाई. वाटर सप्लाई आपको कहाँ से आ रहा है? क्या कॉरपोरेशन दे रहा है या स्टेट गवर्नमेंट दे रहा है या पैरास्टेटल, फॉर एग्जांपल जल बोर्ड जैसा पैरास्टेटल दे रहा है? फायर सर्विसेज कौन दे रहा है? मे बी स्लम इम्प्रूवमेंट एंड अपग्रेडेशन कौन करता है? सैनिटेशन, सॉलिड वेस्ट मैनेजमेंट कौन कर रहा है आपके सिटी में? सो अगेंस्ट ऑल ऑफ दीज 18 फंक्शंस आप मैप कीजिए कि आपके सिटी में सिटी गवर्नमेंट कौन कौन से फंक्शन दे रहा है, स्टेट गवर्नमेंट दे रहा है, विच एजेंसी. सो that is another thing that will give you a lot of insights which will be helpful for your competition. So Praja had done a study across the country और हमने देखा है कि ये क्योंकि स्टेट गवर्नमेंट को पावर डिवॉल्व करना है सिटी गवर्नमेंट को, they haven't devolved all the 18 functions to the city governments. If you see here, the light blue boxes are functions that are devolved to the city government. The middle tone is multiple agencies है and darker is state government. So you see a lot more multiple agencies and darker tone where there is state control. Aisha, I know you've raised your hand. If you can put your question in the chat box, we will definitely take it towards the end. And if we have time, we'll also have you share your question. Now, अभी ये functions तो
Sorry
74th
to
में थे.
interrupt. I just want to ask that are we going to get PPTs?
So we'll have this
Ma'am, you
yeah, sorry. We'll have these sessions on our YouTube channel. So you can definitely, I'll definitely urge you all to follow Praja on all the channels on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, and X, because we'll be sharing all of this on our social media as well. But this special, the knowledge sessions will be available on YouTube
Yes, so
under the
I would
live section.
request, yeah, I would request all the participants to, ask questions related to the presentation. So, yeah,
Yeah, and
that
we'll
would
take all the
actually help you.
questions towards
Yeah,
the end. Yeah.
yes. And please put it in the chat box.
Yes. Okay. So, I was saying that so 18 functions 74th constitution में आ गए, but like we saw कि each state had to make an act and that act directed कि क्या corporations and city governments काम करेंगे. So each act, the acts that you will refer to, you will find out कि आपका city government कौन से act के under govern होता है. उस एक्ट में there will be a list of obligatory duties and discretionary duties. Okay, so obligatory duties mean that the corporation shall do it. It has to do all of these duties. And there are discretionary duties. So obligatory duties kya hai? For example, construction and maintenance of drains, works, supply of water, reclamation of unhealthy localities, regulation of birth and death, maybe construction and maintenance of street lights, culverts, causeways, naming of streets. All of these come into obligatory duties, but this is example of one of the city. So आप लोग सब अपने अपने सिटी में जाके आपके अपने सिटी के एक्ट में जाके देखिए कि कौन कौन सी ऑब्लिगेटरी ड्यूटीज है. Okay, then comes the discretionary duty, which means you may or may not do. So the corporation may do it or may not do it. So which is slum improvement, urban poverty alleviation, registration of marriages, census, then surveys of buildings and land. So some of these functions will be in discretionary. So that is also important to understand. Maybe आपका city government ऐसे कुछ function करता है जो उनके ऑब्लिगेटरी में नहीं है, उनके डिस्क्रिशनरी में है, विच इज they are not under compulsion to do it, but they are still doing it because they can, which is a great thing, right? They are going above and beyond what is minimum. So that also you should definitely know and use it. अब ये फंक्शंस तो है, बट ये फंक्शंस को डिलीवर कैसे करेंगे, उसके लिए पूरा एक मैकेनिज्म लगेगा, राइट? सो देयर इज दिस होल स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ द म्युनिसिपल गवर्नमेंट दैट इज बिहाइंड डिलीवरिंग द services to citizens. Now, what that structure includes is two wings. One is the elected wing And the second is the administration. Now, there are multiple competitions in Prajatantra, right? Mayor speech hai, policy debate hai, quiz hai, op-ed writing hai. All of this is going to help you in all your competitions. We are going to here talk about and understand कि elected government क्या होता है, role क्या है mayor का, committees का. Okay. So in the municipal government, elected and administration. So elected में there is councillors. Okay, councillors are the individuals that we elect. Elections होते हैं at every city level, and at a ward level, each city is divided into different wards, and that ward gets one councillor, or some states have multiple councillor in one ward. ओके, सो फिगर दैट आउट कि आपके सिटी में कितने वार्ड्स हैं, हर एक वार्ड में कितने, ओवरऑल सिटी में कितने काउंसिलर्स हैं या कॉर्पोरेटर्स हैं. ओके, देन द मेयर इज इलेक्टेड. ओके, देयर आर different ways in which mayor is elected. Some cities have a directly elected mayor, like all the citizens elect mayor directly, या फिर it is indirectly, मतलब citizens elect councillors for the city, and between those councillors उनमें से ही एक mayor elect होते हैं, and the councillors elect mayor within themselves. Okay, the third authority in the elected wing is committees. So within that elected body, which is largely like general body meetings होते हैं जहाँ पे सारे councillors होते हैं, okay, that is the first committee. And then there are different subject committees or standing committees that are being formed. So आप जब act पढ़ेंगे आपके corporation का, उसमें look out for what are the committees that are there in your act, who becomes the chairperson, how many members are there, how are these members elected, and be aware of that as well. Then the second part is admin. Now, admin, there is commissioner who heads the administration, and there are different departments in the administration. So if you go to your corporation office, you'll figure out that there are multiple departments there, and there are department heads, and the entire administration is working under that, right? So figure out आपके corporation में भी कौन कौन से departments है, and what functions do they carry out. Now we'll understand a little bit of mayor का क्या role होता है, right? Because some of you are going to be mayors. In Prajatantra, yes, but I'm hoping and I'm very hopeful that future में you actually become mayors of cities. So let's understand कि mayor is the elected head of the city, either directly elected or indirectly elected. Now, mayor का क्या role होगा largely is determined again by the act also, which varies across the state. So आप figure out आपके act जब पढ़ोगे उसमें mark करो कि mayor का क्या role है in the corporation. Mayor is of course the first citizen of the city and a leader who presides over council meetings and leads official ceremonies. But he's also the executive administrator in some capacity, not like ideally we would want mayors in India to be more empowered, but they do hold some executive authority. There are core duties and representation like leading meetings, for example, जो general body meeting होता है जहाँ पे all corporators or councillors come together to discuss and deliberate, वहाँ पे they lead. Then they are the public face for everything. They drive deliberations, they facilitate budgeting of the corporation. A lot of say of the mayor is there in what projects get implemented. Then there's some monitoring and oversight where there is staff accountability, financial responsibility, and public transparency. Also, the connect with citizens has to be there for the mayor. Then comes committee. Now, a committee system again varies across each state. So, आपके state में, आपके city में, as per the act, क्या committee system है? Do get to understand how many committees, like I said, कितने members है, कैसे elect होते हैं, and all that. But if you look at the ideal committee system, there is a municipal council, which is also when it convenes, it is called a general body meeting. Okay. The general body meeting is like the supreme of everything for decision making at a corporation level. It is like Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha or the state assemblies. Then there is Apex Committee, where Apex Committee, the terminology for it for each city might be either a mayor in council or a standing committee, which takes larger decisions. क्योंकि हर बार, let's say, एक city में there are 250 corporators. So every time, every small decision can't go to the corporator, right? 250 लोगों का उतना time लेके हर एक बात पे deliberation नहीं हो सकता. So the Apex Committee takes decision on a lot of things here. Then there are subject committees, for example, public health, water supply, solid waste management, education, finance. तो ये जो subject committee है, they deliberate on that subject for the city. So subject expertise इसमें आता है. So the policies that you are going to make in your policy presentation are going to be like you are going to be the chairperson of that committee and presenting your policy in the competition. And like I said, I'm hoping for you all, some of you to definitely be chairpersons of committees and mayors going forward. Then there are zonal or wards committee, जो 4-5 या 10 wards depending on how your city is structured. Let's say, for example, 10 wards मिलके एक wards committee या zonal committee होता है, which decides geographical area में what are the challenges, what needs to be done at that level. And then the last is ward committee, which is ekdam decentralized at one ward level. So let's say if in my city there are 110 wards, then 110 wards committee बनना चाहिए. Now again, I'll call out कि आपके act में, आपके city में क्या status है. I'll definitely urge you all to figure that out, find that out, and include that in your understanding. So let's look at, so now जब ये कमिटी सिस्टम फंक्शन करता है तो एक्चुअली इलेक्टेड रिप्रेजेंटेटिव्स उसमें करते क्या है और कैसे करते हैं. जैसे हम अगर लाइव देखेंगे स्ट्रीमिंग ऑफ द पार्लियामेंट सेशंस और एनी अदर सेशंस, राइट, तो देर आर सर्टेन डिवाइसेस यूज्ड कि कॉलिंग अटेंशन है, एजेंडा पे अर्जेंट मैटर्स है. सो ये व्हाट आर दीज डिवाइसेस फॉर अ सिटी गवर्नमेंट एंड हाउ डू दे डेलिब्रेट? लेट्स अंडरस्टैंड through a quick video.
How councillors can deliberate effectively. Councillors are the elected representatives closest to the people. Every day, citizens approach their councillors with their issues. Why is the road still unfinished? Why isn't water reaching our neighborhood? Why is the garbage not collected? To address and raise these issues, councillors use different forums such as council and committee meetings. By raising issues and asking informed questions in these meetings, councillors can understand whether services are being delivered, monitor the performance of the administration, seek explanations for delays, and represent citizens effectively. Council and committee meetings are where, under the leadership of Mayor, the councillors, the municipal commissioner, and other officials gather to discuss matters of public importance. This entire process is called deliberation. Deliberation is one of the most important responsibilities of a councillor. It empowers councillors to raise public issues, seek facts, question the administration, and discuss solutions. Every issue raised in the House or committee is an opportunity to improve governance and strengthen public services. However, to raise issues successfully, councillors must follow the Corporation Procedure Rules or CPR. Every municipal corporation should have its own CPR. These rules explain how councillors can raise issues, submit proposals, and participate in debates. Understanding these rules helps ensure that important public issues are officially raised and responded to. Let us now look at some of the key deliberative devices available to councillors. These devices may vary as per the respective state municipal acts. Agenda raised. These enable councillors to submit issues before the meeting so they can be included in the official agenda. Right to ask questions. These are written questions submitted to obtain official information from the municipal commissioner on public matters. Supplementary questions. These allow councillors to seek further clarification on a matter that is already under discussion or bring additional matters before the House. Urgent business. When an issue cannot wait until the next meeting, urgent matters may be taken up with the approval of the House. Point of order. With this device, an objection or addition to the current issue is raised during the meeting with Mayor's permission. Budget proposals. During budget discussions, councillors can propose changes, debate priorities, and influence how public funds are allocated. Adjournment. With the help of this device, meetings may be adjourned following the prescribed rules when required. Resolutions. Councillors can move resolutions that guide policy decisions and direct the administration on important public matters. Each of these devices strengthens democratic decision-making and enables councillors to perform their role effectively. Strong cities are built through informed decisions, and informed decisions begin with meaningful deliberation. As councillors, every issue you raise represents the concerns of thousands of citizens. So prepare well, know the rules, ask the right questions, because every good question can lead to better governance and a better city.
Yes, so as elected representatives, these are the devices जो use होते हैं committees में या council meetings में. But again, like it said, कि it varies based on city, and your city should have a corporation procedure rule. So I'll again urge to find out कि आपके city के पास corporation procedure rules है क्या जो वो follow करते हैं उनके meetings में deliberation के लिए. Now, departments, right? ये तो elected wing हो गया. Then administrative wing is headed by the commissioner, and then there are different departments, and there are department heads or additional commissioner or different positions that head them. Now, there could be different departments. For example, it depends on what functions आपका city deliver कर रहा है. So, for example, solid waste management, water, sewerage, roads, traffic, license, environment, grievance management, education in case your city has schools. So map also कि आपके city में corporation में कितने departments है, कौन कौन से departments है और वो क्या काम करते हैं, because then that will give you as representing mayor or policy the committee chairperson an understanding of आपका corporation क्या क्या काम करता है. So that's the administrative part of the entire city government. अब ये मशीनरी हो गया जो काम करता है towards delivering the services. But nothing can move अगर पैसा ही नहीं है. So money is again important to be able to deliver these services. So now let's understand कि corporation का entire budget का process क्या होता है और पैसा आता कहाँ से है corporation के पास. So, if we look at our entire tax structure for the country, central government taxes में there are certain taxes that the central government takes, like income tax, central GST, customs, etc. So उनका budget बनता है, and then there are certain central budgetary expenses, and a part of it is transferred to the state government. Now, when we come to the state government, वहाँ पे सेंटर से स्टेट के पास कुछ फंड्स आ रहे हैं, and then state government is collecting taxes. Now from this there are some expenses of the state and some it transfers to the local government. Now here the role of the state finance commission also comes in, who recommends the state government कि कितना पैसा और कैसे formula से devolve होना चाहिए to the city governments. Now, when the money comes to the local government, एक तो आता है funds from the state government, and then there are certain taxes that the city government collects, like property tax, entertainment tax, parking charges, all of that. So that is the source of all the money that your city government gets. I have another video for you to understand कि पूरा budgeting system कैसे होता है, what are the timelines, and this is going to be super important because one of the competition does focus on finances, right? So here in this video you'll get to understand कि budget क्या होता है, budget का process क्या होता है, budget के parts क्या होते हैं.
The municipal budget. Every service a city administration provides, whether it's transport, water, waste, street lighting, green spaces, public health, or others, it needs financial resources. But how does the city decide how much to spend and where? The answer is the municipal budget. It is not just a spreadsheet, it's the city's action plan. Let us understand this document in some detail. What is a municipal budget? A municipal budget is an annual financial statement that shows estimated income and expenditure for 1 year, running from April 1st to March 31st. It includes actuals from the past 3 years, revised estimates of the current year, and projections for the upcoming year. The municipal budget has 2 sections. The revenue budget covers day-to-day operations like salaries, maintenance, regular services, and more. The capital budget covers long-term infrastructure like roads, buildings, water systems, assets that expand cities' capacity to serve its citizens. More than just numbers, the budget is a planning and accountability tool. It serves following critical purposes. It's a directive from elected representatives to city administration. It ensures that the city raises adequate resources through taxes and fees. It creates financial accountability, setting specific targets that administrators must meet and citizens can measure. Now let us understand how is the budget prepared. The preparation of a municipal budget is a multi-step process that typically spans several months. While specific procedures may vary by state under their respective municipal acts, let us understand the commonly followed approach. In the month of September and October, the wards committees review pending proposals for their areas. This is when citizen participation happens. Department heads simultaneously prepare their estimates. In October, all department budgets are submitted to the municipal commissioner. In February, the commissioner consolidates these budgets and submits the draft to the standing or finance committee for review. By mid-March, the budget is presented to the corporation in the general body meeting for deliberation. Then the finance committee reviews the corporation's feedback and fixes all tax rates, fees, and charges for the upcoming year. On or before March 31st, the corporation votes to adopt the budget. In some states, the municipal budget also requires a final approval from the state government. In that case, the date of adopting the budget may get extended. The municipal budget, once approved, is published on the city website, completely transparent and accessible to all citizens. The municipal commissioner must then implement it exactly as adopted. Now let's understand, what does the budget include? The budget document includes the following. Financial data. This includes 3 years of actual accounts, revised estimates of current year, and projections for the next year with anticipated closing balance. Tax proposals. These list all rates for taxes and cess like property tax, water tax, and other levies for the coming year. The establishment schedule. This shows every sanctioned position, salary grade, and allowances along with complete staffing costs. Service reports. These reports provide financial details on essential services like water supply and sewerage, solid waste management, public transport, and others. Special sections. This includes the environmental status report covering air quality and waste management. Other best practices that can be followed include preparing a gender budget, wards budget, and climate budget. In addition to this, all city budgets should follow the outcome budget approach to link spending with measurable results and improved service delivery. A fundamental principle in city budgeting is that state municipal acts prohibit deficit budgets, requiring cities to match income with expenditure while maintaining a statutory cash balance. Now let's learn about the revenue sources of a city. Municipal corporations raise money through 3 sources. Own source revenue, which are of 2 types, tax and non-tax sources, grants from state and union governments, and market borrowings. Tax sources include taxes and cess like property tax, entry tax, water tax, and other taxes. These provide stable recurring revenue. Non-tax sources include fees like license fees for shops and establishments, advertisement charges, water and sewerage charges, and other fees. Market borrowings refer to raising funds from financial institutions and capital market, including financial instruments such as municipal bonds, bank loans, and more. Now let's understand what is the National Municipal Accounts Manual. To ensure standardized, transparent, and efficient accounting practices across India, the National Municipal Accounts Manual was created. This manual contains standard accounting formats, reconciliation procedures, periodic reporting formats, and a detailed chart of accounts. All city governments across India are expected to follow this manual for ensuring better financial planning and reporting. Today, the municipal budget is more than a financial document. It's a chance to shape the city's future. It helps translate local needs into targeted development, ensures efficient use of funds, and strengthens trust in city leadership. For any city, it remains a key tool to deliver change that lasts.
राइट सो ये पूरा एंटायर प्रोसेस है कि बजट क्या है, उसमें क्या होना चाहिए, व्हाट आर द डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ बजटिंग, revenue sources. So what I also urge you all, when you're understanding, doing background research about आपका city government, एक आपका city government का budget document आप उसके website पे जाके निकालो, या if it is not available on website, go to the corporation and ask for it. Of financial year 26-27. So the budget of 26-27 will have budget estimates कि क्या budgeted है ये साल के लिए, what are the revised of last year, and the actuals of at least 1 year, or some budgets do have 3 years as well. Analyze कि उसमें अभी क्या है, and that will drive a lot of your policy recommendations also. ऑल्सो लुक एट कि क्या टैक्सेस है जो आपके सिटी गवर्नमेंट लेवी करता है, टैक्स में या नॉन टैक्स में, व्हाट इज द सोर्सेज ऑफ रेवेन्यू ऑफ योर सिटी गवर्नमेंट, दैट. Now coming to the last piece of this presentation, which is citizen participation. Okay, government तो we understood कि क्या structure है, functions क्या है, what is the entire system working behind it, how does it get finances. But citizens also have to be engaged beyond the ballot box, which means vote करके elect करना is absolutely necessary. And when you all, whoever is eligible should definitely get into that. But beyond that also, as citizens, all of us should be actively engaged and participate in the process. Now, how can we do that as citizens? So एक तो होना चाहिए कि whatever data the government really puts on their website, is it, whether it is about projects, about budget, or any policy that they have come up with, we should be aware of all of those. जो भी हमारे transactions है, like property tax payment, abhi everywhere it is digital, we should be using those digital formats. Then grievance, how many of there are 345 पार्टिसिपेंट्स ही, और हम में से कितने लोगों ने एक्चुअली कंप्लेंट रजिस्टर किया है और पता है कि हमारे कॉर्पोरेशन के पास क्या मोड्स ऑफ कंप्लेंट लेने के लिए है. ओके, so find out, maybe if you are not able to do it, try asking your parents also कि अगर street light नहीं काम कर रहा है तो how do we get it working, how do we communicate it and let the city government know कि street light नहीं काम कर रहा है, या अगर कचरा नहीं उठाया है तो कैसे कंप्लेन कर सकते हैं. Because that is one important part of citizen participation also, that we raise our complaints and grievances to the corporation. Now there are different ways in which these can be done, right? Walk in करके corporation या आपके zonal office में या आपके councillor corporator को you can let your complaints and grievances know. There's ways of written application, or maybe there's a phone number, or there's of course corporation website. Chatbots है, WhatsApp bots है, काफी सारे corporations के पास अभी. Mobile application, all of us here are tech savvy, and I have so much hope and believe in everyone here that all of you would definitely be an active and engaged citizens in governance overall, to be able to help the city government also deliver better, because we are equally constituent of the city, right? Beyond electing the government. So that was all. We have a lot of resources like these on our website, on our social media handles. So definitely urge you all to follow and look at all of these. And that's all I had to share. I know there are a lot of comments here, so maybe we can jump to the questions, Asif, if that is fine.
Yes, thank you so much, Meghna, for such a wonderful, insightful session. So what I have done is I have made a list of all the questions, and some of the participants are already putting questions in the chat box. So I think first I will take the questions which people have already asked. So there are two categories in that. Some of them have asked questions related to the laws and rules regarding Prajatantra. So I think that we can give it to Dipesh and Swaraj. Maybe they can answer later in the groups itself. And we will stick to the presentation questions.
Yeah. So, if you guys have any technical questions कि presentation कैसे बनाना है, कितने minute का होना चाहिए, do we need a presentation or we can just speak? All of these questions our teams will be getting in touch with you, and then you can definitely get to know from them. Right now, I think, Asif, we should just stick to governance and municipal finance related questions.
Yes, okay. So, so one participant has asked, ma'am, if the functions are of local government level, so why those functions provided by state? State should provide the administrator and funding. So,
Hmm. It's a very good and valid question. That अगर वो 18 functions obligatory है तो देना ही चाहिए, right? But it's
hmm,
not very simple, because there are certain challenges, like state doesn't want to devolve these functions to the city government for a lot of different reasons. It could be funding, it could be political will, it could be the city government doesn't have capacity to do it also. So capacity is also sometimes an issue, because of which not all functions are devolved, which is why it is important कि आप जाने कि आपके city government कौन कौन से function देते हैं. And I think I was just scrolling through the chat box, and one of the things I just glanced कि should we restrict us to the act and the obligatory functions and whatever is written in the act? Absolutely not, because I think you should be aware about what the act says and what the current powers are, but you should also think beyond it and look at a little ideal state कि क्या mayor के powers होने चाहिए, या as a corporation what all you should aspire for. Okay. But let's say someone in the judges asks you a question about how will you figure it out, you should have that answer with you ready also.
so thank you, Meghna. So there is one question regarding cantonment board. So it was answered in the chat itself. Basically, those area within the military cantonment areas. Another is one participant has asked, is there any budget constraint while we are making our policies? So definitely, I'll just add one more question, and then Meghna, you can answer all the questions together. The other question is from Riddhi. The 74th constitutional amendment provides a framework for urban local self-government, but its implementation depends significantly on state laws. So does this create a gap between constitutional decentralization and actual decentralization of power? It's a very good question. How can we ensure clear accountability when ER and municipal administration share responsibility for city government?
Hmm. Very, very interesting question, and I absolutely like how you guys are thinking. Great. So, to answer the first question, budget पे restrictions होना चाहिए क्या? इट्स येस एंड नो, बिकॉज आपको पता होना चाहिए कि आप जो भी प्रपोज कर रहे हो, मे बी इट इज अ पॉलिसी, मे बी इट इज अ प्रोजेक्ट, वट एवर यू आर प्रपोजिंग, उसको एक्चुअली कितना बजट लगेगा एंड उसके लिए पैसा कहाँ से आएगा, बिकॉज वी कांट जस्ट से कि 10,000 crores इज वॉट वी विल पुट इन दिस पॉलिसी, जबकि कॉर्पोरेशन का ही बजट शायद उससे बहुत कम है. So you have to ground your numbers into the reality of your corporation also. And if you're going above board, also look at how will you fund your policy in a innovative manner, maybe. To the question of the second question, I think was 18 functions.
Uh,
Nee.
this is how can we ensure clear accountability when ER and
Right.
municipal administration is?
Correct. So in a democratic system, the accountability has to be taken up by the elected wing of the administration also. So elected are directly accountable to us, right? Because we elect them and we put them in that position where they can raise our voices. So that is the first level of accountability that definitely should be there. And there are mechanisms like, let's say, different cities even have, different states even have provision for some of the councillors to be put out of office if they are not, adhering to their duties. Mayors can be voted down if that is not what the entire city or the corporation wants. So the absolute accountability is there, and the accountability of administration rests with the elected representative. So the that is where the elected representatives play a key role. Yeah.
Right. So, so there are a couple of questions. So mostly the questions are on the rules and other important operations
Sorry,
part.
I
I
think there
think
was
the team will
third
answer.
question that I missed in your last set of questions.
Uh, so one was if the Priya that you have already answered. The 74th Constitutional Amendment provide a framework for urban local self-government, but implementation depends
Right.
significantly on state law. So does this create a constitutional gap between constitutional decentralization and actual decentralization?
Yeah, correct. So, because the structure is such, right, ki 74th Constitution Amendment got included in our constitution, but because of the seventh schedule, the state governments are required to devolve powers to the city government. Now, which is why entirely 74th Constitution Amendment 100% implementation nahi hua hai. Praja has a study called Urban Governance Index, which maps the implementation of 74th Amendment across the country. You can also refer to that and study it for your own state and city ki kya powers hai. So yes, we still have to go to the last mile of the 74th Constitution Amendment ka entire implementation.
Yes. Thank you, Meghna. I'll just move on to the next set of questions. I'll take three, four questions together and you can answer those questions. These are short
Sure, I'll
questions.
make a note.
Yeah. So one participant has asked, under the 12th schedule, how far a municipal corporation go in raising funds independently? For example, issuing green municipal bond without state government approval. So this is regarding municipal finance green
Mhm.
bonds. Another question is, ma'am, budget plays an important role for the development. How does mayor play a role in it? Another question is, how can municipal corporation improve affordable housing delivery when their financial resources are limited? A very relevant question, very interesting.
Okay, so can I
Yeah,
take these three first? Yeah.
yes, please go ahead. Yeah.
So, green bonds and any other. Can you read? Yeah. Okay. Thank you. So, under the financial responsibilities, yeah, powers are outlined in the Municipal Corporation Act. So, जब आप act पढ़ेंगे उसमें लिखा होगा कि बजट के सोर्सेस क्या हो सकते हैं, क्या क्या वो नया इंट्रोड्यूस कर सकते हैं, किस चीज के लिए स्टेट का अप्रूवल लगता है, क्या क्या चीजें वो खुद डिसीजन ले सकते हैं. Things like innovative mechanisms like, let's say, bonds या green bonds या anything else, it will depend on your state municipal corporation act if the city can do it by themselves or they need state approval. So you'll have to read into that a little bit. The second question about mayor's role in budget. So yes, of course, mayor is like the head of the city government, right? So he has to really play a visionary role in the budget also. कि क्या कहाँ budget जाना चाहिए, कौन से projects होने चाहिए. So different ways in which a mayor can definitely include a lot of things in the budget, but it also has to follow the entire process of the departments making the budget and giving it, the ward committees giving suggestions, citizen giving suggestions, and then the committees making it, जो हमने video में भी देखा. Now, the third question on housing and corporations. This session we covered कि corporation क्या काम करता है, कैसे काम करता है, budget कैसे बनता है. There are knowledge sessions, thematic knowledge sessions coming up, specifically on housing and planning, which will answer a lot of these questions for you. So I would suggest कि you attend those and do ask these questions there.
Right. So I'll just tell you the next set of questions. So one participant has asked, म्युनिसिपल बजट में सैनिटेशन, वेस्ट मैनेजमेंट और पब्लिक इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर के लिए अलॉट किए गए फंड्स का कितना हिस्सा एक्चुअली यूटिलाइज होता है? उनके यूटिलाइजेशन का पब्लिक को ऑडिट या रिपोर्ट कहाँ अवेलेबल होता है? अनदर क्वेश्चन इज, मेयर्स इलेक्शन इन उत्तर प्रदेश आर डायरेक्टली इलेक्टेड. Should our mayor's speech strictly reflect the structure of Kanpur Municipal Corporation? Uh, Next is, ma'am, as budget process was going in the local corporation, so is there any fund mechanism like, for example, a central consolidated fund of center and state? So there is any fund body in local government?
Okay. So for the first question, budget and audit. So if you look at जैसे हमने देखा वीडियो में भी कि एक बजट में एक एक्चुअल्स भी होता है, राइट? कि जैसे अगर 24-25 के साल के लिए लेट्स से सम 10 crores वाज अलॉटेड फॉर अ एक्टिविटी, वो कितना एक्चुअली यूज हुआ ये हमें सब्सिक्वेंट बजट में एक्चुअल्स वाले हेड में मिलता है. Okay, that is one place. The second is the corporation should be publishing audit documents also, auditor signed audit documents on their website, or it should be publicly available. So वहां पे भी actual खर्चा कितना हुआ है, because extremely valid point कि budget तो काफी बड़ा बना सकते हैं, but actually कितना खर्चा हुआ है और कितना income आया है is what you will see in the audited documents. The second is, if like let's say your state, which is UP, has directly elected mayors, आप बिल्कुल directly elected mayor की तरह आपका preparation कर सकते हो. And if Kanpur is the city that you have chosen to represent for your team, you should talk about Kanpur only. So आप सबको एक city, जिस भी city में आप based है, या one city you have to select as a team which you will be representing in Prajatantra, and you have to make all the policies and speeches and everything based for that city. Another third question, I didn't really understand it all the way, but I'll tell you कि central government का there's no like a larger fund which directly gets transferred, but central government does play an enabler role for the city government, and they come out with schemes and programs like, let's say, Swachh Bharat Mission या Smart Cities Mission or the JNNURM mission. So such schemes, programs, mission is what the central government kind of comes up with, and then through that they give some fund. There is a recent challenge fund announced, so wo bhi you can research and get to know about.
Yes, so thank you, Meghna. I have last three questions. I'll just read out all the three questions and then you can answer. Uh, so one participant is asking, क्या म्युनिसिपल बजट बनाने से पहले सिटीजन्स की लोकल प्रॉब्लम्स और सजेशंस को फॉर्मली कंसिडर किया जाता है? अगर हाँ, तो इसका प्रोसेस क्या है? The second question is, how does the legislative structure of a city government ensures accountability of elected representatives? And the third one is, ma'am, it is seen that due to budget restraints, the delivery of housing-related schemes are poorly executed. So, so, in any ways to give housing that are affordable but are also built to last. So basically, they are saying that there are budget constraints regarding housing schemes. So, how does this actually turns out to be?
Okay. Okay, again, very good set of questions. I'm extremely happy and, surprised, excited, and happy to see such great questions. So, first is citizen participation, of course, include होना चाहिए. जो budget timeline अगर हमने देखा तो it starts in right now August, September, जहाँ पे citizens का suggestions लेना चाहिए ideally. Check out if your city does that. अगर आपका सिटी बजट पे सजेशंस लेता है अभी या फिर लेटर ऑन व्हेन द ड्राफ्ट बजट इज एक्चुअली पब्लिश्ड, व्हेन आपके सिटी में जो भी बजट कॉरपोरेशन में रखता है, जनरल बॉडी मीटिंग में रखता है, उसके बाद क्या सिटीजन पार्टिसिपेट लाइक सजेशंस के लिए ओपन होता है. Usually, it should get open to citizen suggestion, and they should be the suggestion should be considered by the elected and the administration, and they can take a call on वो suggestions include करने हैं कि नहीं budget में. Um, Accountability of elected representatives within the corporation. So there is no decision that an individual can take, right? हमने स्ट्रक्चर देखा that there are different committees and decisions committee में ही होते हैं with certain majority or whatever the quorum requirement है, या जब भी voting होता है तो there are certain voting rights. And then the council is supreme, जहाँ पे all the corporation comes together and like सब मिलके ही decision ले सकते हैं. So in a way, that is what makes sure that one person is not really making all the decisions, and there is accountability. And eventually, like because we are electing them, if they don't perform well, we look at not electing them again and having different individuals who are capable to deliver on what we expect them to. So that's how you can ensure accountability. And the third question on housing and affordable housing, of course, yes, there are challenges in financing. So that is where your innovative financing mechanisms can come into picture of how can the city government deliver
Yes.
affordable housing.
Yeah, Meghna, just related to this particular question, there was one last question. So this participant has asked, since housing falls under capital expenditure and requires a multi-year funding, how can standing committee balance the gap between short-term revised estimates and long-term actual estimate expenditure? When a municipal corporation own tax revenues are highly dependent on the state and central transfers. A very good question. Yeah.
Yeah, right. So yes, the corporation ka current revenue is largely dependent on state, and there are limited taxes. So first you have to also think of how you will finance this entire thing. Okay, there are different policies for housing which you will get to hear from the next knowledge session speakers also. So are there any policies that you can leverage? Is there any out of the box idea that you can bring up to address this problem of funding for housing? So there are different innovative mechanisms which you can definitely tap into.
Yeah, Meghna. So, Meghna, are we good on time? Can we take more questions or should I conclude and
Maybe we can take one or two more questions and then we can.
okay. Okay, so I can see one question. So this is regarding the uh, Sonal is asking if the 74th Constitution Amendment gives municipalities a constitutional identity, why do many urban local bodies still remain heavily dependent on the state government for finances and decision making? Is the real problem the constitutional design or its implementation?
Hmm. Yeah, great. Again, great question. So, again, it is similar to the question that we had discussed earlier कि state government पे depend करता है how much power is given. So the problem is both ways. One is that not a lot of responsibility is given. So funds functionaries we need to transfer to the city government, and city government ka capacity also needs to be built to be able to deliver this entire thing. So it's a chicken and egg problem which we have been able to come to a certain level to solve, but there's still some way to go to achieve that.
Right. So, thank you so much, Meghna, for answering all the questions, and also
I
I would
just
like
want
to
to
thank. Yeah,
I just want to mention that it's great to have all of you here and all the best for Prajatantra 2026. It is going to be, like I said in the beginning, an exciting journey for all of you and for us as well. So we look forward to having you all in the knowledge sessions also and further. So I'll give it up to Asif. Thank you so much.
yeah. So participant, don't leave now. Just wanted to tell you few things. So in the chat box, you can see the feedback form. Kindly fill this feedback form. And also, just to summarize everything, thank you so much, Meghna, for answering all the questions. Very interesting question from all the students. So from the what you guys can do further is read the act of your city, right? You can go to the website, download the act, read the act, go through the budget documents, try to find out what are the committees are there in your municipality, be it corporation council. You know, try to make the visit. Try to make a visit to the corporation. Try speaking to some of the people so you'll have a better understanding of your city government, and try to go through 74th constitutional amendment from the constitution, 7th schedule, 12th schedule, and as Meghna rightly focused on the citizen participation part. Try to go to the website and see what all different citizen facilitation uh, you know uh, things are there on the website. If there are any offline methods, try to capture all of these things. So this will actually help all of you to in framing your policy, in framing your speech, in preparing for the different competition in Prajatan 2026 better. And also, apart from this, we have like three more knowledge sessions. So tomorrow also there is one knowledge session, uh, 5 to 6 p.m. only, right? So attend that. And on 28th and 29th of August also similar timing, 5 to 6. We have two more knowledge sessions. So today we have finished with one knowledge session. There are three more sessions. So please attend all these knowledge sessions. They will help you to understand the theme better, right? And all your route related questions, we have given it to the teams and they will get back to you with all the details. So once again, I welcome you all to the Prajatan 2026. I am assuming everybody is excited to participate in this year's Prajatantra. So last time we had teams from across India, from all the states and union territory. So this time also we are expecting a very healthy competition, very engaging one. And we can see that through your questions that we are going to have a very interesting and very insightful Prajatan this year. So again, thank you all and see you tomorrow in the second knowledge session. So can we close, Meghna?
Yes, we can close.
All right.